and welcome back to the Lease Do Us Part recap. I'm going to try to, speak less. My lovely mother was talking about how she was watching one of the episodes. So is it like hour-long episodes or 30 minutes? And I was like, what is? And she was like, the things that you recap, they're like 10 minutes, which they're not. They're like half of that. I think the longest one is like 7 minutes long, and my shortest recap is like 8 minutes long. It's also sad when your mom makes up the majority of the views on your channel. So I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet. It opens up with a knock at the door, and both of the girls go to answer it. Both of their dates are at the door. And it's Reese, who we have already met, and a new guy named Eduardo. It doesn't even faze him that obviously the apartment has been double booked for a date, and he just walks in and he's like, "Hello, my beautiful, blah blah blah." That sounded Italian. He's supposed to be Spanish. I'm really bad at accents. And Reese is not so easy, and she's like, really? She realizes what's going on, and she's upset about it, and automatically she looks at Meek, to blame the problem, and Meek is like, hey, look, for once I actually wasn't trying to sabotage your relationship. I just, didn't tell Shannon about it because I didn't think I had to tell Shannon about when I had dates over. Mika suggests that, they go out and her and Eduardo will stay in, and she's like, no, I can't do that. I already ordered pizza. And that's whenever Reese says the most stupid line ever. Babe, I don't eat pizza. I really hope there aren't people like that out there, because if there are, what a sad, sad world if you don't like pizza. And that's whenever Mika comes back with what I would say in that situation. Like, I don't care how well I knew the person or how well I liked the person. She looks at her and she's like, are you even a person? And she just walks off, like she's had enough of this non-pizza loving girl. So they all head into the kitchen for this new double date. Shannon's starting to set the table for the dinner, and Eduardo introduces himself, and he does the very European style, like kiss you on your hand and introduce yourself very proper like. She's like, and where are you from again? And he's like, from Spain, my dear. And so, from the beginning, she's kind of assuming that he's a phony. But it also could be, teensy-weensy bit of the fact that she just wouldn't like anybody that Mika's dating, because she's not completely over Mika. They sit down, they have drinks, and they're just trying to make small talk. They ask him where in Spain that he's from, and he's like, oh, just some small town, you probably haven't heard of it. Reese is like, oh no, I had a shoot there, I spent 6 months, I should know. And he was like, Nice, yeah, I grew up in Nice. Is it Nice in, France? And Mika's like, there could have been a Nice in Spain too, you don't know that. Shannon and Reese are like, no, pretty sure it's just France. And they're just looking at the guy like, who is this idiot? And then there's just this awkward silence because he's been exposed. You hear an American accent say, I can't do this anymore. I grew up in Ohio, and they all start laughing at him. Basically, poor Eduardo, he just can't handle it anymore. And he starts getting up to walk out. He's like, listen, obviously this isn't working out, and I'm embarrassed, so I'm gonna jet, alright? And by the way, honesty time, my real name's Ernie. And they all laugh. Me can't even hold it in anymore. And they're like, oh, that's awful. Yeah, that's a deal breaker. And he runs off crying. It's no longer funny to Meek, and she's just pissed off, and she's like, are you happy, Shannon? She's like, you can do better, so don't blame it on me. Oh, like who? Like Reese? And she's like, I hate to break it to you, hon, but your girlfriend's a broom. You're dating a motherfucking broom. Claws have come out, and Meek is no longer just like the fun, lovable person that even if she was being rude, it was still in a playful kind of way. And this is just I think there was a change in her personality, and it was just full on bitch mode. And that was interesting to see, and it shows that she really is very hurt. Obviously, Reese did not receive that news well, and she looks over at Shannon, who has yet to say anything, and is like, are you gonna let her talk to me like that? Shannon's like, oh yeah, shit, I have to defend you. Don't drag Reese into this just because you just got dumped by a major loser. And that's all she says. That's her defending. And Reese is not satisfied with that defending. Her aha moment, this whole you still living together and me dating one of you who are still living together, I'm just as fucked up as y'all because I chose to get myself into this shitty situation. I'm leaving. bye. A really dramatic exit, and you know, basically she's breaking up with Shannon. Shannon's basically like, well, you fucked up this relationship too, congratulations. You hear another knock at the door, and they both, you know, like jump up and like run to the door to try to see if it's their respective dates coming back for them, and it's actually the pizza guy. I got 2 large blah blah blahs. It's not like olive oil sauce instead of red, and light cheese and gluten-free and all this stuff. It's like, you know, it's a pizza, you know, that you're gonna enjoy eating. And he stops, and after he's done telling them their order, is it just you two? And they're like, yeah. That's a lot of pizza, a lot of cheese. You know, you gotta watch your cholesterol. They both look at each other, and then look at the guy, and Shannon goes off and she's like, if we want to eat 2 large pizzas, we will eat 2 large pizzas. And she slams the door in his face. It's just beautiful, a beautiful moment. She asks her if she paid the guy, and she's like, no, did you? And she's like, no. Like, let's just pretend we're not here. And then they walk off. Favorite line of this episode would definitely be any of the ones revolving around pizza. Didn't catch any puns in this episode. Quick news update, the Gay Women's channel actually followed me on Twitter and Tumblr, which is really awesome. I feel so honored. That was pretty cool. Last night I basically went on this huge rant about the Gay Women's channel, and not a bad one, obviously a good one. I was just sending a text to someone about why I like them so much, and how they're so much more than just like, you know, a comedy YouTube channel. They're really, you know, standing for something great and showing that the gay community can be so successful. And I don't know, I just find it really inspiring, and I think they're doing like a lot of good, and they aren't even aware of it, half of the good they're doing. Yeah, they're just making an impact, and I admire that. And so that's basically, you know, in short, what my whole rant was about. And I posted it on Tumblr, the screenshots of my text, and then shared the link on my Twitter. And, you know, I tagged all of them. So the Gay Women's channel retweeted it and replied, you know, thank you so much. And Adriana, even on her personal Twitter, also said thank you. And I was like, wow. I mean, that definitely wasn't my intention whenever I wrote it. I was just on yet another one of my rants. You can tell by now from my videos that I have no problem talking, whether it's actually audible or texting. It was just a really cool, like, moment. I don't know, I just feel really accomplished. Gay Women's channel, I'm sorry all my friends hate you now, because I was blowing up their phones with the news, and they're like, yeah, that's great, Amber. Feel like on top of the lesbian world right now. And yeah, thank you for the follow, and I love doing your recaps.
That's all, folks.